This is the basics of Python to work with the temperature and humidity sensor from SeeedStudio using the grovepi breakout board. So for this I have logged into the Raspberry Pi using SSH. First I want to check if Python exists. Most often Python is installed by default on Raspbian, but just to check I type Python and enter. I go into the Python shell and it shows that the Python version that we are using currently is Python 2.7.9. So now to check the command, if we just want to check a simple command, we can print something to the output. So let's print. So this is how the print command is written, print. So the output hello comes. So now we know that the Python is working properly. If we need to import anything, we have to use the import command. In this case, grovepi already has a library to work with all the sensors that are attached to the grovepi board. Since the grovepi breakout board already has digital ports, analog ports, and all other ports that we have mentioned in another prerequisite video, to work with them, the grovepi library already exists that you can use to connect or to get data from all of these ports. So in our case, we are going to bring in the grovepi module. As the grovepi module is not part of Python, it has to be externally installed and then it has to be imported. So any library which is not part of the core Python has to be imported this way. So import. If you would want to check what is in grovepi, you can do dir. So this will show you all the functions, everything that is inside the grovepi module. If you want to help, you can do help. So when you look at the help for it, the help function, help on function dst in module grovepi, dst, you need to give the pin on which pin is the grovepi sensor attached to the humidity and temperature sensor attached to the digital port on the breakout board. So that is the pin, and then we need to give the module type. The SeeedStudio grovepi sensor, the temperature and humidity sensor, comes in two types, which is the blue or the white. So now we need to, as we looked at the help, we saw that we need two types of data. One is the pin number or the port, or the second one is the type. So let's create a variable for type. So as we are using the blue type sensor, I've created a variable called blue and assigned it the value 1. The equal to sign in Python is the assignment operator, and I've given it 1, the value 1. So now a variable is created. I also need to create a variable which gives the pin or the port on which the sensor is connected on the breakout board. So in our case, I have connected it to port 4. So this hash is used for commenting in Python. So there, now we can get the data from the sensor. So print, and this is how we'd call the function, provided arguments, and now we should be able to see. So there, the temperature right now is 30 degrees Celsius and the humidity is 60%. So we can save this data that comes from the function in another variable this way. So now the data is not automatically printed but is assigned to the variable data. If we do print data, we should be able to see the data that is assigned to this variable called data. And you will see that the data that is assigned is inside the square brackets, and this is called a list in Python. So in this list, there are two elements to the list. The first one is the temperature, which is given the location 0, and the second one is the humidity, which is given the location 1. So if you would want to print only the temperature, you can do with this location 0. Now let's write this in a text file so that we can execute it again and again. To exit out of the Python shell, you have to press Ctrl Z. So now let's create a file in a very simple text editor that is already available on the command line called Pico. So I have already written the same code that was written previously onto this file. So we can just save it using Ctrl O. This is a command for in Pico to save the file, and to exit is Ctrl X. At the bottom of the text editor, the commands are given. So Ctrl X. So we get out of it. Now to run the code, Pico Python, and we can see the same results.